What does your day-to-day look like as a GM, as someone, kind of the boss? Yeah, so the boss of the dealership. This is your store.
Yeah.
What does your day-to-day involved look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you have to be willing to, be prepared for different surprises that can happen, right? Whether it's, there's an issue that you're dealing with, it's just sporadic, right? You got to be quick on your feet to problem solve. But I mean, from an overall like general day to day, right? It's very much pulse checks with my different departments, right? Like I said, I used to be a general sales manager, so I know what to ask of the general sales manager in terms of questions I'm asking, right? Like, how many appointments do we have for the day, right? Are we set up for success for the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? How does business look, right? Do we have a training schedule lined up for our salespeople? It's very important to continuously sharpen your blade, right? So do we have training lined up? And then same thing with the different departments, service, parts. Do they have training lined up, right? What does their book of business look like in their pipeline, right? So it's like just being very on top of like inspect what you expect, right? I think a lot of leaders fail to inspect what they expect. They just say, hey, go get it done.
Yeah.
I told you to get this done, go get it done. But if there's no follow-up of inspecting, then you're going to catch the problem when it's too late. Month's done and you missed your target, right? But if I inspect on a weekly basis of like, hey, this was the goal that we said we were going to achieve, and then at the end of the week I check in and see where we're at, right? And I actually look at the daily activities that help to get us to the goal, well, I can really quickly problem solve. Like, hey guys, remember we were supposed to make 30, 40 phone calls a day, but we only did 10 per salesperson?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder we're not getting to where we need. That's why we don't have appointments. Like, it's really quick to problem solve why something isn't happening. Right? So yeah, inspecting what you expect and be curious like George. George, Curious George the monkey.
Monkey, yeah.
Right? Like I tell all my department managers, be curious like George. Right? Like go and dive in and be diagnostic. Like one thing we're very fortunate with our company at Auto Canada, they provide so much data dissection. Like we have a it's called Tableau reporting. Like a lot of people know about Tableau, but yeah, they have reports out of the yin yang. Like anything you can think of, there's a reporting behind it. And reports are great because it quickly tells a story, right? You look at the data and you look at a trend, right? It's like if 2 months in a row something's happening, well, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So if the data is telling you that you're falling and declining for the next 2 to 3 months, you got to do something different, guys, because it's not working what we're doing. Right? And so you have to be careful that you don't drive yourself insane by doing the same thing.